Now, you were a part of something back in the day that was extremely influential in my life and a lot of people that came up around my time, and that was the BT Wrap It Up campaign. And it was highly effective. Tell me the strategy and tactics that made this campaign effective. Because you'll be
Well,
12 thinking about doing something, and that BT Wrap It Up commercial will come on and you'll be like, let me think.
it was it was just that. Just that. BET knew how to speak to the culture in a very real way.
Right.
In other words, excuse my language, all my HBCU grads, they knew when we was fucking,
They knew it.
and they knew that in the African American community, HIV was more prevalent. So how do we
Mhm.
combat that? Hold up a second. Put your condom on. You good.
Yeah, you're
And that's
right.
why it was effective. And then when we would do the live shows, I did that for about a decade of going
Mhm.
around to schools throughout North America, Canada. We went to Toronto a couple times. We went to the Caribbean a couple times. My brother, my oldest brother, is living with HIV. He's been living with HIV since 1988.
Wow.
And so for me, it was when I saw BET do that, I was like, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Me and my family have been going through it, but to see our faces taking charge and trying to do something to change that, the impact of that disease was everything to me. So
Right.
I got down and I went to talk to kids for a
Mhm.
decade on that one right there, man, because we needed it. And now we're going to have the same conversation about COVID.
Yeah, we are. We are. And that's what,
It's going to be that somebody else is going to have to show up and be the cheerleader for slowing this down in our community. I don't think that we are going to mirror the country in how we're getting infected and how we're passing along the disease. I think that we're going to have to live with this either longer or differently than the rest of the country. Therefore, we're going to have to be more proactive, and we're going to have more voices coming out to speak, just like we did with HIV.
right. I totally agree. I totally agree. Now let's talk quickly about wealth building. You're in the real estate. I like building businesses. What have you seen as the best wealth building tool, especially for African Americans and HBCU grads?
Okay, first best wealth building tool is education.
Yes.
The people, we don't even think about our education as an investment. We don't think of it as wealth. We just say, "Oh, I got to pay these student loans back. I shouldn't have done this shit," right? However, off of paying that student, off of the 100,000 you, 200,000 you owe in student loan debts, you're gonna make $5 million over your lifetime, $10 million over your lifetime.
Right.
What an investment! Look at the return on that investment.
Right.
I went to Morgan State University. I was a C student. I put myself through school, working jobs and small scholarships and grants here and there. Best investment ever.
Yes.
Because it blew my awareness away. It showed me all kinds of shit. I got strong parents behind me. It showed me the value in that. So it showed me moving forward where value lies. So when it
Right.
comes to wealth building, you get a bigger in the understanding of value
All right.
with education.
Yeah.
And then once you start to understand value, you start to understand generational wealth,
Yeah.
having something to hand off to somebody else, the value of that for your child's life, not just what the physical asset means, but what this means, what it can do for that person's life.
Yeah.
If I leave my kids these assets that can continue to appreciate, what does that mean for him? Maybe he don't have to have student loans like I did. That's one generation after the next who
Yeah.
we change. I changed it with one generation, or maybe I can use this money we just started. It was crazy enough, Todd. We just started businesses for our kids during this quarantine.
Wow.
My daughter is 10. My son is 8.
Mm-hmm.
She started a lip gloss company.
Ooh.
He started a vending machine company.
Oh, that's beautiful.
The awareness and the information and the education me and my wife both possess, the value in that is we can see the value in pouring that into our kids before they're in their 20s. You might as well do it in their formative years. Do it while they're small. Show them that they can do some of the same things adults can do with their money, so that by the time they're 20, they're thinking on terms of $1 million acquisitions, multi-million dollar acquisitions, and things of that nature.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're also watching their father, who is a comedian and a talk show host, become a realtor and a developer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're seeing something. So the value in that is immeasurable. You understand what I mean? So for wealth, I'm going to say the first thing is that education, bro.
Yes.
It sounds a bit, people like to say that it sounds a little elitist, Todd. They like to say, oh, you know, what about the regular niggas? Well, what about you? Here's what I'm gonna say. I got into Morgan State University with some horrible grades.
Me too.
And I, you know, they only went up when I was trying to pledge. I'm gonna keep it $1.50 with you. How?
I had my best grades while I pledged.
Say that again.
I had my best grades when I was online.
Yeah. Then, but after that, my Jones just went. But I had this many extracurriculars, so it weighed out for me.
Right.
And so what I say to those, man, I ain't thinking about that, man. I ain't thinking. Well, okay, college might not be for you, but education is for everybody, forever.
Yeah.
Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I start a class I start 2 courses in September.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Wow. It keeps going. It keeps going. And those of us who shun education are doing ourselves a huge disservice.
Totally.
Last time I bumped into Master P, he told me he was on a mission to give Black folks financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
So listen to what we're saying. This is a guy who you've never heard Master P complete a whole grammatically correct sentence. Right?
For real.
Between his New Orleans slang and how Black folks treat the English language, it's everywhere. However, he has enough wherewithal to continue to inform himself about what his money can do and what it can do for the community. So he's been making money continuously because he continues to educate himself.
Yeah.
When Romeo went to UCLA, so did Pete.
Yeah.
Let me see that book. Show me something else. No, what that say right there, son? No, explain that quantum theory to me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So those of us who shun education, and I'm not necessarily saying you got to go to college, a 4-year college. There's a billion forms of education. Those of us who shun that are throwing away money, throwing away value.
Right.
That's what I'm going to say.
I totally agree. I know you got to go.
I got time for one more question.
You're in the philanthropy, and you're always giving back. I think giving back you can give back in a lot of ways. One of the ways that you gave back is when I DM'd you, you said, sure, I'll do this interview. And I know that, it may be of value to you, but I'm probably getting a little bit more value out of this interview, being able to talk to one of my childhood heroes. When did you first start giving back, and how did it make you feel, and why do you see it as being so important?
Christmas 1985. We Are the World came out.
Okay.
I had got my Christmas money. My mother said, oh, you sending some of that money to them kids in Ethiopia. I said, how the fuck I got to send my money to the kids in Ethiopia? I barely got one. Hold up. That's when my philanthropic work started.
Mm-hmm.
After that, my first job was at 13 years old, was as a volunteer, because I was too young to get a job. So my mother got me a volunteer job at summer camp. I was a junior counselor, and I found the value in that at 13. I was able to, come out and help these kids be at camp, but I was also getting real experience on what it meant to work, what it meant for someone to look up to you, what it meant to be on time, what it meant to show up every day. I was getting all those. So that's where it started, and it just kept going through there to this day. I'm about to do a food drive with Covenant House in the next couple of weeks here in DC to fill their pantry up, and hopefully get some food and some other things for these kids. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get musical equipment. I'm about to do a drive to get musical equipment. I don't know if you know, but I produce in my off time. I make beats in my off time, and that's what I was doing at Covenant House. I was teaching the young people music production once a week, and of course that was these kids is rough, so the music production gave me a way to get in and start to let them put their guard down a little bit and start the conversation about becoming a man, becoming a young woman, moving forward, getting access to the things they think they don't have access to, letting them know that that's a big mirage. You can get anything you want out here if you got your head on right. And so that's where it started for me. And it just, plus with the frat, we all about service. And so, having that brotherhood of Black men, and then being in the Divine Nine, being in one of the organizations that is part of all of these organizations that serve our communities, shit. And plus, I ain't gonna front, it made me feel good.
It makes you feel great.
I ain't gonna front. If I can keep it $150 with you, I go, hand out dinners and so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. Do that, be dog tired, hop in my car, turn on my favorite music, twist up.
Yes, sir.
There's no, if it's legal in your state, let me say that.
Right.
But coming from helping people for 8 hours and then zoning out because you've done the real work that day, man, there's nothing like that, man.
Nothing like it.
It's better. I swear to God, it feels better than a check sometimes.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna front. It feels better than a check sometimes, y'all. So if you can, I plead everyone, if you have 10 minutes a week, somebody could use that. There's someone in your community who needs your 10 minutes of volunteering. Go give it to them.
Yes.
Real talk.
Joe Clair, thank you.
Man, we got to do this again when we
got to do
some other things we need to talk about.
Yeah, we got a lot more to talk about, but I'll let you get to the next one. Thank you. If there's anything we can help, even with the drive, just, let us know. We're here to help you. And we appreciate your time.
And everybody, please continue to support HBCU grad.
Yes, sir. I know. Talk to you.
Bye, bro.
Peace.